I want to make something very clear before we get into the topic of this video. This video's goal is not to sway you from watching the Oscars. My goal is to simply shed some light on some things that the casual Oscar viewer might not know about how the awards are picked, which I believe invalidates the whole ceremony and the point of it, which is to reward the best movies of the year. I watch the Oscars every year. I enjoy it. It's the Super Bowl of movies. I like the Oscars, and I'm here to tell you why they don't matter. Again, if you're in the know of how the Oscars work and you watch pundits and you read articles from Deadline or The Hollywood Reporter, you know what I'm about to say. This isn't going to be breaking news. But the way that you typically win an Oscar is by running a good Oscars campaign. Yeah, campaign. Like Democrats and Republicans, and like the election, and like politics, and like running for local office. These movies don't just come out and sit idly by until the Academy members vote on what they think is best. They are swooned by the companies and production houses and filmmakers and actors and writers and editors who make these movies. And they are swayed by the campaigns run by the studios, Netflix, Warner Brothers, Disney, A24, to show you why we're the best. There are Oscar campaigns for every single person and film nominated. And the reason why most films and actors don't win is not because they are the best or because they are lacking something. It's because they didn't run the best Oscars campaign. Netflix is notorious for running great Oscar campaigns to get their films nominated, but they do not run good campaigns for having their films win. That should be Exhibit A to show you that all of this is irrelevant. If we're going out there and running ad campaigns about why Oppenheimer should beat Past Lives, you've already lost me as someone who is taking these awards super seriously. These movies should just come out, and then we vote on the best 10. Used to be 5. We'll get into that in a second. Vote on the best 10, and then which one is your favorite? Because the best doesn't exist in terms of watching movies. It's subjective. Isn't that the point? Art is meant to be interpreted, and if you interpreted The Holdovers as your best movie of the year, then you should vote for that movie regardless of if you like Paul Giamatti because he went to In-N-Out after he won his Golden Globe. So I'm not exactly sure when the Oscars luncheon, which is the luncheon with all the nominees, takes place, but there's something that happened this past season, or this past Oscars luncheon, that shows exactly how anal, for lack of a better term, and how they interpret being able to sway people. So Anatomy of a Fall was a foreign film that came out this year. Apparently it's amazing. I have not seen it, so I can't speak to the quality, but everyone says it's unbelievable, and I'm sure it is. And there's a dog in that movie. And apparently the dog, whose name is Messi, adorable little dog, attended the Oscars luncheon. And there is a report that came out via The Hollywood Reporter that says multiple studios with nominated films complained to the Academy about allowing Messi, a dog, to attend the Oscar nominees luncheon event. And because of this, Messi, the dog, will not be allowed to attend the Oscars ceremony. It goes further. It should be acknowledged that not everyone is said to have been pleased with Messi's attendance at the Oscar luncheon. After all, being a dog, he wasn't technically a nominee. It's a dog. Multiple companies with nominated films complained to the Academy that allowing him to attend the event gave Anatomy of a Fall an advantage during the voting window, according to a source knowledgeable of the complaints. First of all, it's a dog. It's a dog. It's a dog. Second of all, what does that mean, advantage during the voting window? Why are there advantages or disadvantages? I know these are humans voting on the movies, but the movies should just come out. The window of voting should be open, and then you should vote during that window on which movie you think is the best. If people think, number one, that a dog could sway your opinion, then you shouldn't be on the Academy. But what's even worse is people saying that this dog actually has the power to sway these people. And I'm trying not to get super emotional because I'm telling you they don't matter, and I already know this, so why am I getting angry about it? Well, I guess it's because I wish they did matter. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at here. And the campaigning and the dogs becoming advantages, which is not true, that's lunacy and that's insanity, is Exhibit A as to why these awards mean nothing other than Let's have a good time, and let's drink, and let's see if Will Smith slaps someone. The second reason as to why the Oscars don't matter to me anyway is because there's a huge moving goalpost. And the moving goalpost is box office. Box office matters only when they want it to. Take Top Gun Maverick or Barbie, for example. If those movies came out and lost money, they would be nowhere near the awards race. Doesn't make them any better or worse just because they lost money, right? What if Barbie came out and it was amazing, but nobody saw it because it was female-led? That didn't happen, of course, but what if that was the case? Does that make it less of a movie? Or what if Top Gun came out and people were like, oh, it's American government propaganda, and nobody saw it? Does that make it less of a movie? No. But because they were both cultural phenomenons and made a ton of money, they were nominated. However, if a movie that comes out like Avengers Endgame or It Chapter 1, a horror movie, one of the highest grossing rated R movies, horror movies of all time, or Avengers Endgame, a superhero movie, the highest grossing film of all time, they don't get nominated. Why? Because there's a genre bias. Superhero films do not get nominated, sans for Black Panther, which was a great film, and I understand the cultural significance of that. But most MCU fans would tell you that that's not their favorite MCU movie, or that's not the best MCU movie. I'm happy that it got nominated, but it didn't have a chance in hell of winning, which is something I'll get into after this. Box office only matters when there's names like Tom Cruise or Greta Gerwig attached to the property. When you have Oscar buzz in terms of, oh, well, it's Tom Cruise. Oh, well, it's Christopher Nolan, who's my favorite director. Oh, it's Greta Gerwig, Oscar darling. Then you have a chance because of the box office. If Barbie came out and if Top Gun came out and lost money or broke even, you would never, ever, ever see them in the awards race. And just because they're nominated doesn't mean they have a chance in hell of winning Best Picture. Take Avatar: The Way of Water, for example. Made $2 billion. No one thought that was possible. It was one of the best movies of last year. And James Cameron did not show up to the Oscars because he knew it's a genre film. It will not win. It has no chance. And that's just the way things are. The fact that Toy Story 3 was the last animated film to be nominated for Best Picture is crazy. You're telling me that in 14 years, there hasn't been one animated film that has earned the right to be nominated for Best Picture while Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is sitting there, stuck in the animated category because it's an animated film. The Oscars have gotten more diverse and younger, but it still remains to be seen what exactly it means to make a lot of money and what exactly it means to be a genre film. Because right now, there's no chance that Barbie or a movie like Avatar or a movie like Top Gun or a movie like Black Panther has at winning. You will never see it. The Dark Knight, one of the better movies ever made, according to anyone who has ever seen it, was not even nominated for Best Picture. Not even nominated, and it was so egregious that the rules were changed to have 10 nominees, up to 10, doesn't have to be 10, up to 10 nominees instead of 5. The only horror movie that comes to mind that was nominated and that actually won anything was Jordan Peele's Us. Sorry, not Us. Jordan Peele's Get Out. And that movie had, cultural significance in terms of the subject matter, but it was also on another level for someone who just came out of the gate and made his first movie. So if you're a superhero movie or you're a horror movie, you have to have a very important message and you have to be unbelievable to even get close to being nominated. And I'm not saying that there aren't unbelievable films nominated this year, but each one of these movies has a specific Oscar flair. Even Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan, he's been nominated before. There's not one movie that has been nominated this year other than Oppenheimer or Barbie that I guarantee the average Joe has even heard of. Actually, you know what? I'm going to call my dad right now, and I'm going to see how many of these movies he's actually heard of. Hello? Dad? Yeah. Okay, I'm filming a video right now about the Oscars, and I'm gonna go through the Best Picture nominees, and I just want you to tell me if you've even heard of them, okay? Okay, you just give me a yes or a no, okay? American Fiction.
American Fiction?
Yeah.
No.
Anatomy of a Fall.
I think so, but barely.
Okay, Barbie.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot.
The Holdovers.
No.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
No.
Maestro.
Say it again.
Maestro.
No.
Past Lives.
I think I did. Yeah.
Poor Things.
No.
Zone of Interest.
No.
And then Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah. Love you.
Bye-bye. You have to have a certain aura about you to even sniff these nominations, and you have to be even more aura-centric with the Oscars to have a chance of winning. So those are my thoughts. Again, listen, I actually like the Oscars. I can't wait to watch them, and I hope you watch them too. But this is just for anybody that was curious as to the ins and the outs. There's Paul Giamatti again. Of how they all work, of how the awards are picked and how people are nominated and blah, blah, blah. There are just things that they don't want to admit have a lot of pull, and campaigning is the craziest thing. Why can't these movies just come out and we vote on them? Why are there Oscar campaigns? That's crazy. But hey, I'm rooting for Oppenheimer. Who are you rooting for? Who are you rooting for? Who are you not rooting for? What do you want to see? You want to see someone slap Jimmy Kimmel? Comment below. Let me know. Please be sure to subscribe. It is free after all, no charge to you. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.